Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Luke, and in this video I am going to discuss with you one of the most powerful tools for AI, which is called Zapier. Zapier is mainly dependent on creating integrations between different platforms. So if you are a user of multiple platforms, this website is definitely for you because it will help you to have all in one place. So this tutorial is gonna be a beginner level tutorial. I will just show you a sample of what Zapier is capable of doing. So I'm going to show you one or two automations with very simple steps without very much complication, just for beginners. So in order to start creating your first Zap, or what we call on automations. So automations in Zapier is called Zap. So if you want to create your first Zap, you can head to create on the top left, then choose Zaps. And now you will have two options, whether you will create your Zaps automatically using AI, or you will just create them manually using a trigger and an action. And to be familiar with these terminologies, if you are new to automations, trigger is a specific action that once happen, series of steps will be activated automatically. So let's say I am just going to make a specific trigger that is once a specific appointment is scheduled to my agenda or my calendar, then a specific action will be automatically activated as a result. And this action is gonna be, for example, sending an email to someone. So, for example, if I am a secretary and I want to email my boss once a specific event is created, or let's say I am a manager or a business owner and I want to send my clients a specific email once they schedule an appointment in my agenda. This is gonna be the case in here. So I am going to use AI, not manually, and I'm going to write when I have an appointment, I want to send an email. Then I'm going to let Copilot, which is AI texture for Zapier, do the magic work. So now it has made an event or a trigger, which is once a specific event is created and the action is sending an email. However, I'm not going to use these apps. Zapier is dealing with more than 7,000 different applications, so you are free to choose whatever you are using from these platforms. So I'm just going to head to my trigger and I'm going to choose the event. But first of all, once you are setting your trigger, or once you are setting your action, you will find that there are 4 steps. Just to make it very fast and brief, the first step is choosing the application that you are going to use, whether as a trigger or an action. The second step is choosing the account that will be linked to this specific event. And the third is the trigger, that is the specific action in details that once will happen, the other sequence of steps will be activated. And the final step is the test, where Zapier is making sure that it's capable of retrieving the data from the conditions that you have placed, and it makes sure that it will be able to apply and perform the action once the specific Zap is actually activated. So starting with the first step, which is app and event, I'm going to use, let's say, Google Calendar, for example, instead of Mango apps. So I'm going to use Google Calendar and I'm going to choose the event as once new event happens, because this is instant and I want it to be instantly. Next, you are going to choose the account, so I chose a test account. Next, you need to adjust the trigger. So here it will ask you about the specific calendar that is linked to this email, because maybe you have more than one calendar associated with one email. So it makes sure that you choose the specific calendar that you want to synchronize with this Zap. Next is the test. So here Zapier will make sure if your data is valid and if this Zap is going to be applicable and will be activated successfully, and now it has succeeded in making the test. So by continuing, you will move to the next step, which is applying the action. And as we can see on the top, there are about 7,000 different apps and tools that you can integrate with. And it also just categorize them into top apps, and it also has built-in tools that you can use. You can also use different products, which is like a package on itself, but this is somehow advanced and it's way out of the scope of this tutorial. So here I'm just going to use Gmail as the action or the consequence that will happen once the trigger is activated. So here I will use the event as send an email here on the bottom. Next, I will use the account as the same test account that I have used with Google Calendar. And in this action, I'm going to just do something. It makes no sense, but I'm just going to make it for you now to test the Zap in front of you. I'm going to send the email to myself from myself, but this is just to show you the experience. However, if you are, as we said before, if you are a secretary, you will need to send this email to your boss, or if you are a business owner, you will need to send this email to your client, and so on and so forth. So for now, I'm just going to insert the same email that I am using as a test email, and from I will use the mail that I have linked before. Now you will need to compose the email that will be sent. So you can just write a normal subject and normal body, but I think it will lose its meaning if we did this. We need to link between the event that was created and the mail that's gonna be sent. So I need to make the subject as the summary of the meeting, or the summary of the event that was created. So if, for example, the summary of the event was hangout or offline meeting or Zoom meeting, it will be written in the subject. Next, I'm going to use in the body the description of the event. So let's say if the description was we held an online meeting and the agenda of the meeting was 1 2 3, you will find the same in the body of the email. So I think now it's ready and I can continue to the next step. Now Zapier will need to test this step for me, and we will see if it's gonna work or not. And now it's working. So now I'm just going to make an event, and we will see if it's gonna be here in our mail or not. So let's, for example, create an event. The title of the event is Zoom meeting, and I'm going to insert in the description, this meeting is an onboarding meeting for the new members in our company. And I'm going to make this bold, just like that. Then I'm going to save. Now I have added an appointment, so all what I need to do is to see if it's gonna be sent or not. So as you can see here, it has been sent instantaneously, and if we open this email, you will find that the description have been added successfully. Well, I believe this is not the same email because I named it as Zoom meeting, here Zoom meeting, and the description is also different because there was in the company and the end it was not in the company. So this email was the test email that we have performed, but the Zap did not work because I forgot to publish it. So by clicking on publish now, it will be available for you to apply these changes. So I'm just going to wait for a couple of seconds. And now it's published. So let's retry again. Let's return back and let's delete this appointment. Then I'm going to recreate it, and let's make it somehow different from the test email. Let's say, for example, offline gathering, just to differentiate between both. And I will write the description as this gathering is intended for new members. Then I'm going to click on save, And now let's visit our Gmail once more and see if it has been activated or not. Now I'm going to refresh my email. And after doing this, you can see that we have received an email with the same title and the same description. And by opening this mail to check it out from the inside, we have the title the same as the event that we have created, and the description is also the same. If we open this one, we will find that it's the same. So the Zap is working successfully. So this is a pretty easy way for creating a Zap. You can create dozens of different Zaps using the same method, and I will just show you maybe one or two more ideas. So by going back to your Zaps, you will find all the Zaps that you have created, and if you want to turn any of them activated or deactivated, you can do this from this button on the right. So this one was the latest. Since I don't want to actually receive an email every time I have an agenda or I have a new event created, I will just turn this off. And now if you want to create more Zaps, you can go to create here on the top left. And as we did before, I will choose Zaps again. And I'm going to show you another idea, but I will not apply because it will take so much time. So if you are not sure what you want to automate, you can just go to trigger and you can see different ideas that is provided by Zapier. So here we have all these applications. You can search for anything. You can click on browse all to find all the applications. However, I'm just gonna look at the top applications used. So for example, if you are a content creator and you have a YouTube page, you can just go to YouTube and make it as your own trigger. That once, let's just choose an event, that once a new video is posted in your channel, you just need to set up your account, then you just need to set the trigger, then the action will be using, for example, Facebook page, and you can also choose the event as create page post. So this process simply makes you, once you upload a post or a video on your YouTube channel, it will be automatically posted on your Facebook page. So you will not have to post it 2 times, and you will not have to double the time that you need to do this operation. You just need to do it once and it will be fulfilled successfully. So there is another feature that I want to discuss, and I want to close my tutorial with it, which is called tables. And it's created from the same place. From create, you can go to tables. So what makes this feature interesting in Zapier are 2 specific things that I will discuss with you once it loads. Here you can just choose one of the templates, or you can start a blank table, but I'm going to pick one of the templates for now. So what it makes it impressive using tables with Zapier are 2 things. The first one is what I call views, or what is called views. Views are accessible by clicking on the main table, then choosing a new view. By choosing a new view, you can just name it anything, like view 1 for example, and by choosing this view, you may use it to hide any of the columns or any of the rows and save it in this specific view, which we call the view 1. Sorry, I will go back. Okay, which we called view 1. So you can return back to your main table with your data unchanged, and you can go to your view 1, in which you just chose to hide and edit some of the rows. So you have 2 versions, the original version unchanged, and the views which you may apply many changes. Instead of saving more than 1 file, you can have it all in just one specific table with different views. The second one is that you can actually apply zaps to your own table. This is done by going to create on the top right. Then you can choose then you can choose automation. However, it's not available here because you have chosen a view, so you cannot apply a zap to a view. You need to apply to the main table only. So by going to create, you can apply automations, which are zaps, and in this case you can apply three different zaps. The first one is to add a data to the table, which will be helpful in this case since our table is empty without any data. So you can import the data from different applications or different platforms like Google Sheets, for example, into your table using zaps. Or you can do the opposite. You can export the data from the table to Google Sheets or to other applications, and finally update or enrich your data, but this is way out of the scope of this tutorial. So basically we have discussed in this tutorial how you can apply different zaps between different platforms and how you can make a table then apply zaps to this table. So that's it for this video, guys. So if you found this content helpful, please don't forget to support us by hitting the like button and also subscribe to our channel. So if you have any questions, just drop it in the comment section down below, and if you want to talk about any specific AI tool, just also drop it in the comment section. So thank you for watching and see you in more tutorials. Until then, take care and have a beautiful day.